Do you go out of your way to welcome adversity? Would you like to better yourself for good? Do you seek new ways to grow? If so, I think you're going to like this video. If not, you're going to like this video. Well, today I'm going to show you 3 great ways to grow. But first, have you ever had a babysitter before? Have you ever had a mean babysitter named Pam? I have. When I was 5, I had a bad habit of sucking my thumb. And she had a great idea to get me to stop. She decided to spray it with bug spray. And I know what you're probably thinking, that kind of sounds like abuse. And you'd be right. But it worked. I not only stopped sucking my thumb, I have not had a bug bite in my mouth since. Like I said earlier, today I'm going to show you 3 great ways to grow. And each way fits perfectly together, so make sure you stick around to the very end. Here's the thing. If you're not growing, you're not getting better. If you're not getting better, there's a good chance you're getting worse. And while no one wants to get worse, if you're going to get better, you have to know how to grow. And there are 3 great ways to do this. Number 1, welcome adversity. Have you ever welcomed adversity before? Having been in sales for almost 20 years, and thankfully being relatively successful, I've learned a few key strategies to continually grow, and I'd like to share those with you today. In my early 20s, just after experiencing my first major heartbreak, I was given a piece of advice that forever changed my life. I was told to consider it pure joy when I face trials of many kinds, because it will produce in me perseverance and maturity. In essence, I was told to welcome adversity and adopt a growth mindset. Go ahead and raise your hand if you like to lose. Yeah, not many people do. Well, with a growth mindset, you cannot lose. You can only win or learn. You see, a growth mindset turns every trial into a temporary, teachable moment. A growth mindset focuses less on what you have to endure and more on what that endurance will produce within you. A growth mindset redefines failure. It's no longer something to fear, it's an opportunity to improve. So how do we adopt a growth mindset? To adopt a growth mindset, you have to look at difficulties differently. Look at difficulties differently. Begin seeing daily dilemmas in a new light. So rather than being frustrated by that traffic jam, or feeling sorry for yourself for being sick, or being really hard on yourself for making a mistake, let that traffic jam grow your level of patience. Let that illness grow your level of resilience. And let that mistake grow your level of humility. If you want to adopt a growth mindset, write this down. In light of adversity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When was the last time you experienced adversity? Did you welcome it? How different do you think that experience would have been had you asked, what can I learn from this? And once you've adopted a growth mindset and begin welcoming adversity, the second great way to grow is by committing to continual learning. Ready for my one attempt at Shakespeare? To be or not to be a mentee? That's the question. The answer? Yeah, definitely be a mentee. Be a lifelong mentee. But to be a mentee, you must first have a mentor. Do you have one? How about 2? How about 10? If you don't worry. Here's a fun fact a lot of people don't realize. A mentor does not have to meet with you for you to meet with them. See, that's the beauty of a book, the power of a podcast, and the true value of a video. You can meet with a mentor whenever and as often as you'd like. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't have a real-life mentor that you meet with and talk to on a daily or regular basis, but that's a lot harder for some people to access. So don't ever let that be a deterrent from continuing to grow. So go ahead and make it a habit and meet with a mentor at least once a day for 20 to 30 minutes. Put it in your clarified calendar. And if you're not quite sure what a clarified calendar is, go ahead and click this link above as we spoke about it in an earlier episode. I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea. I'd love to, surely I would, but I can't find the time. First off, I'm not quite sure why you're thinking in a horrible English accent. Secondly, That's the most popular excuse. It used to be mine. Don't let it be yours. I found a fantastic way to find extra time to learn. Simply do it in conjunction with something you already have to do anyway. Read a book while you're eating breakfast. Or listen to a podcast while you're working out, or while you're driving to work. Or watch a TED Talk on YouTube while you're eating lunch. Heck, you might actually be watching this while you're eating lunch right now. Whatever it is, make it easy and make it fun. But whatever you do, make it an ongoing appointment to experience ongoing growth. So we've touched on adopting growth mindset and committing to continual learning. Now for the third great way to grow. And this is arguably the most important, applying what you've learned. You see, all the knowledge in the world is worthless unless you apply it. So whatever it is you've decided to learn about, make sure you're always doing these two things. Take notes and take action. Actually, I need to write that down. Take notes and take action. Go ahead and write that down right now. Did you write that down? I can't tell you how many times I've heard a great piece of wisdom and thought, man, that's going to change my life forever. The problem is, I didn't write it down. I totally forgot about it. And then I hear a couple months later and say, wow, how the heck did I forget that? It's because I didn't hear it enough to internalize and retain the information. To internalize and retain information, we have to hear it several times.
To internalize and retain information, we have to hear it several times.
To internalize and retain information, we have to hear it several times.
That's why note-taking is so important. It allows you to refer back to it later and retain and internalize it. So whether you're reading a book, listening to a podcast, or watching a 5'7.5" redheaded motivational speaker on YouTube, just always have in the back of your mind, how can I apply this to my life? And then write it down. How can I apply this to my life? And then as soon as you get a chance, review what you've written and decide how you're going to put it into practice. And then practice it until it becomes a part of you, until you're able to teach others how to do it. Over the years, I've had the honor and privilege of mentoring many salespeople. And what I've found is whenever I'm teaching someone else, I'm also performing at a higher level. See, that's the benefit of mentorship. It's a win-win for everyone. So be a lifelong mentee, but also be open to becoming a mentor, especially to those that are newer than you at what you do. Because if you really want to instill a new skill, it really helps to be able to teach and reach others. And if you ever need a little extra motivation, remember this. If you want to earn more, you have to learn more and apply it. So adopt a growth mindset. Begin welcoming adversity. Commit to continual learning and begin applying what you've learned. If you do, you will break through to your next big breakthrough. Hey, if you've learned something of value from this video, please hit that like button. If you'd like to hear more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. Oh, and be sure to post if you wrote down any notes today or something you'd like to see in future episodes. Lastly, please share this with 515 people you love, or like, or know. Until next time, remember, you're not alone, you are loved, and whatever you do, believe in yourself. Because each tip is going to balance on top of each other like things that stack. Look how big my hands are compared to my head. Let's go ahead and make a fun video. All right.